So you're playing Blackout, you're on your way to that win, you're on like 10 kills maybe in a solo game, and then this happens. Brilliant. Game over, you didn't even get a chance to fight back at the guy, and knowing your luck, you were probably that guy's first kill and there's like 10 people left. Pretty annoying, isn't it? So hey everyone, how you all doing? Sir Stevie here, bringing you a brand new Blackout video. In the video today, guys, I'm going to be doing another tutorial video as you guys seem to like them. I've done quite a few tutorials on my channel, ranging from like how to do better in the end game to how to do better if you're a new player in Blackout, that sort of thing. So definitely go and check out those videos if you haven't done so already. First of all, thank you so much for choosing to click on the video. Your support is much appreciated. If you could do me a big favour and hit the subscribe button and the like button on this video, that'd be great. On my way to 100 subscribers at the moment, so every little bit of help is really appreciated. But yeah, today, as I said, I'm bringing another tutorial video to you all. I thought it's something that's always annoyed me, and it's quad bikes. People that just deliberately go around on quad bikes, and that's their way to get kills. I don't blame them. It's no offense to anyone, but it's normally people that aren't that good in a gun battle. I've tended to, just speaking from experience, because whenever the person's jumped off a quad bike, odds are I've killed them when they've jumped off. And I don't know, it annoys me a little bit when I get killed by a quad bike, mainly because like it always seems to happen to me when I'm on a high kill game. I don't know if it seems to happen to you guys. It never happens to me early on. Always seems to happen to me when I'm in the end game. There's like 10 people left and I get killed by a quad bike or a truck, something like that. So I thought I'd just share a few tips and a few little bits of experience I've had on how I deal with quad bikes, ranging from how to kill people on quad bikes, from just little tactics to avoid getting run over by people on quad bikes. So without further ado, let's get straight into the 5 tips I've got. So going into tip number 1, this is probably the easiest tip out of all the ones I could think of. It's a really simple one. It's basically use cover. And this is one I recommend a lot in not just this tutorial, but in pretty much every tutorial for getting better in Blackout. It's using cover. If someone's coming towards you on a quad bike and they see that you're behind a rock, odds are they might just give up and not try and bother running you over, because it'll mean that they slow the speed down a lot. They might not kill you in one hit with the quad bike, and it gives you a better chance obviously to shoot at them. It might give you a little bit of high ground if you can get on top of a rock or on top of a building, something like that. So the easiest tip out of them all is just get to cover, basically. The second tip that I'd recommend, this one kind of links into the first one a little bit, but it's in a scenario where, say, there isn't any cover, there's no trees, there's no rocks, there's no buildings that you can hide behind. So you've kind of got to improvise a little bit. Basically, what I'd recommend in this scenario is do not stand still. It's definitely not going to work for you standing still. Whenever I've ran someone over using a quad bike, I can guarantee you it's 10 times easier to run someone over who is stood still. The reason being, you've not got to work out, right, where are they going to be stood when I get to where they are now, if that makes sense. You don't have to calculate, similar to like bullet drop. You don't have to think, right, where are they going to be stood by the time I get there? Here's where they're stood now. Where will they be in like 5 seconds time? If they're stood still, you don't have to worry about that. You can just go straight ahead, or you only have to make a few little turns, something like that. It's really easy to run someone over when they're stood still. So obviously when you see the quad bike first coming towards you, as the person who's not on a quad, basically just jump out of the way, and then if they then decide to loop back round, what I tend to do, and it works quite well for me, is basically moving in a zigzag pattern. Think of it a little bit as well as like when you see some old videos of like, you know, people in Spain doing that weird bullfighting thing and they jump out of the way at the last second. Give that a go. It's worked for me a few times, surprisingly. Even though you jump away at the last second, the person on the quad bike doesn't seem to be trying to move and calculate the way you're going to be moving. They'll just almost sort of just keep going in a straight line, and then you can jump out of the way at the last second. So that's another tip that's worked for me quite a few times. Moving into the third tip, everyone, this is only really a tip that I'd recommend if you're someone like me who plays on quite a low sensitivity. I've always played on quite a low sensitivity on Call of Duty. I tend to play at the minute on around about 4 or 5. I know some people who play on like 9, so if you play on 9, this probably isn't relevant to you. But something I've always found is this is an opportunity where you decide, right, I'm not going to hide from the person on the quad bike, I'm going to try and shoot back at them. What I tend to do is if say they're on a quad bike and they're driving away from me, my sensitivity is that low that my gun physically won't turn and keep up with their movement quick enough. So what I tend to do is if I've got something particular like a shotgun, I'll zoom in, fire, zoom out, and then sort of auto lock on to them again. And it's a lot quicker than just constantly keeping zoomed in one motion, if that makes sense. So basically what I mean is, instead of just zooming in and then keeping zoomed in while you shoot at them, zoom in, fire your shot of like a shotgun or a sniper, zoom out, then zoom back in again. It's really worked out for me, so I definitely just recommend giving that one a try, because it's actually helped me quite a lot with managing to shoot people off quad bikes and other vehicles. Coming now into the fourth tip, this is one that I'd recommend quite a bit. It's one I definitely overlooked a lot when I was starting out in Blackout. It's equipment. I never really realised how much equipment can help with getting out of the way of quad bikes. The main four that I'd recommend is the grapple gun, the barricade, mesh mines and a smoke grenade. I don't tend to use smoke grenades on quad bikes that much, as normally there isn't that much time to be able to use them. But things like a grapple gun just help you maybe latch onto the roof of a building, or maybe latch onto the top of the tree that just throws you in the air for a few seconds so you can't get run over. I know the barricade used to work, where if you put it down quick enough, then the quad bike could just smash into it and deal a ton of damage to them. I'm sure it does still work, although I've not tried it lately. And then finally the mesh mines. Mesh mines are a massive bonus. Sometimes I just stick them on the road at random points where I think people might be going past on a quad bike. But one thing that you can definitely do is keep hold of them. You see someone coming towards you on a quad bike, and if you can get your mesh mines down quick enough, that's the threat just eliminated straight away, basically. And then coming into the fifth and final tip that I'd recommend for you all to use. This is one that, again, I do a bit now and then. It's not my favourite method to use, but sometimes it is just a smarter option for if I'm trying to get a win, something like that. It's basically pick your fights. I know when I started out in Blackout, every time I saw someone on a quad bike, I'd shoot at them straight away, because I thought, oh, it's a person I've got to kill. You know, every person you see in Blackout, you try and kill, don't you? You don't tend to run away as soon as you see a person. But one thing that works for me quite a bit is basically pick the fights that you want to fight when it comes to people on quad bikes. The reason being is just because of the fact that if, say, you're in that scenario where you've got no cover and you can hear a quad bike and they've not seen you, they're not going for you, they don't know that you're there, I wouldn't say it's a wise decision to then start shooting at them, especially if there's no cover. If you're on the roof of a building, go for it. I always do. If I know I've got cover and not going to be able to run me over, or it's going to be hard for them to run me over, I always try and kill them off the quad bike, especially if I've got something like a sniper rifle or an ABR, something that really packs a punch with your bullets, basically. But if you've got no cover, or you're not entirely sure how far away the quad bike is, something like that, I wouldn't really recommend shooting at it, just because of the fact that odds are they're going to run you over, and it's all about surviving at the end of the day and getting as close to the end game as you can. Even though it's also about getting as many kills as you can, sometimes you've got to sort of think, is the risk worth the reward? Are you probably going to die? Are the odds not in your favour for killing the person on this quad bike? So definitely just think whenever you're going into a fight, am I actually making a bit of a mistake here? Should I maybe just let them keep going on the quad bike, or maybe follow them if they get off, you know, not too far away from where you are, and then you can kill them when they get off the quad bike, something like that. So those are all the tips that I mainly use in terms of when trying to beat people on a quad bike, or just get away from people on a quad bike, that sort of thing. The tips aren't necessarily going to mean, right, that's it, you'll never get killed by a quad bike again. They are still incredibly annoying. I wish they'd do something about it, to be honest, about people who deliberately just go around on quad bikes to get kills, because I don't really feel it's the way the game's meant to be played. I feel like vehicles were implemented as a way just to get around, not to just use it as a way for killing people, because it kind of takes away the whole core point of a Call of Duty game, which is obviously a first-person shooter, not running people over like you would in something like GTA, something like that. But I hope the tips have helped you. If they have, feel free to drop a subscribe and a like, as I mentioned earlier, on the road to 100 subscribers. But yeah, thank you so much for taking the time to watch the video. I hope you all have a great day. Let me know in the comments if there's anything that I've missed out. Is there anything that you guys do that you do a little bit differently from myself? Are there any tips that you've learned that help you beat people that are on a quad bike, something like that? And yeah, thanks for watching. Take care, guys. Bye for now.